Well, good morning, folks. You're joining me up in Glen Affric on an absolutely gorgeous day. Really, really nice. I'm going to be heading off up into the actual mountains. Probably not going to be doing some summits because the clag is quite crazy. It's really, really low. But I'm just still going to go up and actually have some fun today. So the drive in has been absolutely spectacular. So I'll either put some photographs before or put some photographs just now. But my words, the scenery, just as I was actually coming in. Flat calm loch, beautiful snow all over the place, trees all covered in snow, gorgeous area. So I'm just going to finish my coffee and then we'll head off up into the hills. Probably safety thing I was just wanting to chat to you about before I actually went up into the sort of hills, and it's more about hill safety more than anything. So basically what I do before I actually go away, I do an awful lot of work on like Google Earth and where I'm going to camp, etc. So what I've done is I've actually, hopefully you can see it there, but I've actually sort of predetermined where I'm actually going to stay, or roughly where I'm actually going to stay, and then it gives me the actual coordinates itself. And then basically what I do is I've actually got a wee note there which basically puts exactly where I'm going to be camping, or roughly, and then the time that I'm actually leaving and the time that I'm actually coming back, and then my sort of safety contact telephone numbers. Now, I also have a tracking facility on my actual watch as well, so I've actually sent that to 3 people who can actually track me at the moment. But sometimes that's a little bit sketchy from the point of view of the actual, you do need a connection. So quite often it'll be a case of slightly later on in the actual trip they'll be able to actually get the connection. But it's just so important, especially with the winter side of things, just sort of making sure that when you do go up into the mountains, you've got yourself well prepared. So worthwhile having a wee look at. I do that quite a lot, and again, it just sort of gives me a bit of peace of mind, but also the family as well. Well, what can I say? Look at that, it is absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Now, situation I've got is the wind at the top of the mountains is just too excessive. It's more a case of the sort of winds are really picking up about sort of 3 o'clock in the morning. They're going up to sort of 60-70 miles an hour. So I can't do a summit camp. So again, I'm probably going to actually camp more at the sort of 500 meters section as opposed to the actual top. But it's still going to be epic. But as I said, I've got 2 options. One, I can either stay up there, or alternatively just head back to the van. But I'm just going to sort of see how the actual weather pans out. But loving it, absolutely loving it. Let's get going. Okay, so this has me reached at one of the potential campsites for tonight, and I said I was just planning on the storm bivvy, and then actually just a tarp over me just to sort of create a bit of a shelter. But it seems nice and sort of flat. Ideally I prefer to go up into the mountain itself, but I just need to wait and see. I said that strong wind is meant to be sort of kicking in about 3 o'clock in the morning. So we'll see what happens, but at least I know that there's this place here. So if I am up there and I do decide, right, okay, later on that I actually need to come back down, I'll just come here and get everything set up. But just grab a wee drink of water and then we'll get off up the mountain. Oh, well, I have to say I'm finding this tough. Enjoyable as always, but tough. It just gets to getting hill fit. Getting out on the actual hills as often as I possibly can, get that fitness levels up. But I'm very conscious, I'm looking down the actual valley and it's just a whiteout. So it looks as if I'm just about to get a wee dump of snow just now. So I'm just going to keep wandering up. I'm actually probably not going to do the Munro on the left hand side. I'm probably just look at the Bialach and then actually maybe go up to the actual mountain on the right and then sort of head back off and try and find somewhere to set up the actual bivvy itself. But such a gorgeous day. Such a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Like I said, I'm a bit nervous about that snow coming in. So I'll catch up with you a wee bit closer to the top. Well, I've come to a bit of a difficult decision. My leg, everyone knows about my leg, everyone's watched if you've watched the videos. My leg started wobbling, which basically means that the muscles are just not strong enough around the actual joint itself. And the problem with the leg is it hyperextends. So although I've got it actually strapped up and all that sort of things, I've got a brace on it, it just doesn't feel stable enough for me to actually go and summit this and then get back off again. So it's more just a case of it's wobbling just now, so if by the time I get up there and get back off again, it's going to be so bad. This was more about the bivvy trip, in all honesty. It was more about me actually camping on the actual mountain in the storm bivvy, trying that out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to very slowly make my way back down to the sort of 500 metre mark and the actual river, and then just wander along and actually try and see if I can find somewhere to actually put the bivvy. I may very well go back to the actual place I was actually talking about at the actual very start, because it was really nice there. But I said, I'm not disappointed. It's one of those things. The most important thing is safety, you know, and it's knowing when to actually come off the mountain and when not. And I said, if it's like this now, it's just going to get worse, and then I'm going to put myself at risk. So I said, I'm going to go the fun bit and actually just get back off and get the bivvy bag actually set up. So really looking forward to it. And I've got a nice meal for tonight as well, and a wee beer. So we'll head back off just now. Okay, so I've been looking around for a wee while just for an actual flat bit of ground to try and lay the mat out, and there's not much. I have to say, there's not much, but I have managed to find this little bit here, a little bit in the raised there, so I can actually put a tarp over if I want, but it's about as good as I'm going to get. So I'm just going to get the rucksack off, start digging. And what I'm going to try and do is make a wee wall this side. That'll do me. Just going to build the wall up a little bit more around the actual edges. But should be in for a comfortable night. It's meant to be tomorrow morning that the weather's meant to be getting bad. So at the moment I should be okay. But I'm just going to get that wall built up just round this bit. So I said if the wind does come from this direction, I've got a little bit of coverage. And again, I'll do the same sort of thing there. Entrance will be just over the actual other side. And then I'll just get the bivvy bags out and get everything all set up. And then get some food on. Right, one of the things I'm going to do with the Lab Bivvy, again, I'm going to test it out, see what it's actually like. But what I have sort of heard is that the condensation's really bad. So I am sort of cheating a little bit because I've actually got a Gore-Tex bivvy that I'm going to put inside the Storm bivvy just to try and protect me from the actual moisture. So we'll give that a wee try, see what it's actually like. If I can find the zip. Fingers crossed. So that's it, pretty much set up. Again, a bit more work on the actual wall, do that. I'm actually going to try getting in it, which is going to be a laugh in itself, just before I actually get the food on. But well impressed. As I said, it's all going to be down to just as to how warm that is, but I've got the 3-season sleeping bag, I've then got sleeping bag liner, Gore-Tex sleeping, the bivvy bag, and then this one over the top. So it should be fine. And as I said, it's meant to be going down. I think it's about -6 tonight, so it's not horrendous. Love it, love it, love it. It is getting cold, and there's a bit of a sort of drizzly rain on, which again sort of wasn't meant to be forecast, but it's the Highlands. You just never know what you're going to get. So as I said, a bit more plain, and then I'm going to get inside it just for a laugh. Time for some food. So losing a lot of light just now, and it is actually really cold, obviously. So I'm probably just going to have some food and actually just sort of get tucked in. It's actually really warm. I actually spent about 15 minutes in there, just actually trying it out and everything, and it is actually really, really warm. So I should be in for a comfortable night. But I said it'll be nice just getting some warm food in me. I've met a few people coming off the actual mountain themselves, and hard day in the mountains, where everyone's sort of saying it, just for how actual deep the snow is. And so I think I made the right choice coming off. Again, this leg I'm just going to have to try and get fixed. But again, with it being sort of a slippy underfoot, again my leg kept on sliding away from me, which is obviously just not what I'm needing at all. Otherwise I could have ended up with a bit of an accident. So definitely the best option to actually come off the mountain. And as I said, it was more about the camping than anything else. So I'm just going to wait for this to actually boil, get the food on, get that down me, and then head into bed. That's it, going for chili and rice tonight. So I said, really looking forward to having something warm to eat, along with a wee beer. That's nice, it's actually on the hands. Wow, that feels so good. Right, let's get this inside, mate. And give it a wee taste. As well as a wee beer. Cheers. Right, did I get it hot enough? Always the debate. Always the debate. Just perfect. So I'll be leaving them for another couple of minutes in comparison to what I normally did before. I was normally leaving them about 8 minutes, but I'm doing them about 10 now. That is lovely, nice and warm. So hopefully the light's okay, because as I said, it's losing light dramatically just now. So I'm not going to be up for too much longer. But it's hard to describe. It's just such a stunning place. It really is such a stunning place. But just getting outside into the wild. I'm going to turn the camera around just now. Just wait and see this. So I got some bless of lights on, just actually get everything lit up. Then maybe try and do a wee bit of reading. But unfortunately I can't quite get them because they're so far away. But there are 4 deer just standing there watching me just now. Well smart. Well, that's me just about to head to bed now. But what a setting. One of the most spectacular I've ever slept in. Well, that's me changed over into the sort of big wrap jacket, just for actually going to bed itself. So it's actually only sort of like 6:15. But as I said, it's dark now. And as I said, I'm pretty tired, so I'm probably actually just going to settle down and see if I can get myself a good sort of 10 hours of actual sleep. Normally when I'm actually out camping I do tend to sleep a lot better than I'm at home, strangely enough. So really looking forward to it. It's very, very cold, but I don't feel it, in all honesty. Just got all the right sort of equipment and right gear, so I'm feeling toasty, so feeling fine. So as I said, I'm just going to settle down, so sort of bar any incident, I shall see you all in the morning. Well, good morning, folks. That was actually a really good sleep, but it has been pouring with rain for quite a while now. Excuse me. And the winds are making me get up sort of quite high, so I'm actually going to get up now and just sort of get everything packed up. As I said, first impressions of the storm bivvy, really impressed. I actually had the top end of it open for a wee bit just for ventilation, but it doesn't seem to be too bad condensation wise, which is one of the things I was a bit worried about. So it doesn't look too bad. Okay, so as I said, I'm just going to get up and have a quick little bit of breakfast, which is just going to be an energy bar, and then I'm just going to slowly pack down camp and get off the mountain just before that wind picks up too badly. Okay, maybe another couple of minutes and sleep back. Oh, that's cold in the fingers. Unfortunately, my water supply has frozen solid, so no breakfast or no water with my breakfast. But as I said, there is water down there at the river, so I might just go down, see if I can try and get some. But as I said, I'm just going to get myself off the actual mountain just now. But I have to say, it's been a trip I've always wanted to actually do, sort of in the snow, make a wee actual wall around me, which is sort of one of the reasons why I actually got the Storm Bivvy in the first place. So well impressed with it. Didn't really seem to find too much condensation, but again, we'll sort of find out once I get the sleeping bag out. The bit that I did actually have slightly open though, the sleeping bag has got some moisture on it from there, but that's my fault for actually leaving it open. As you can see, the wind is starting to pick up a little bit, and my hands are getting really cold. So I'm just going to batter on and actually just get everything sort of packed up just now. So that's me all packed up. And as I said, the surroundings are just to die for. I'll do you a wee 360. Absolutely amazing. So I'm going to slowly make my way back down the hill, and a lot of the actual snow's turned to sort of ice overnight just with it being so cold. So just going to be a wee bit careful. I've got my crampons, don't think I'll need them, but I've got micro spikes which I might probably need to get out. But as I said, that's that wind picking up, so I'm just going to get off just now and get down and get a hot coffee. Really looking forward to that. See you back down in the van. Well, what can I say? Glad to get back to the van. It's absolutely tipping it down. So I'm just going to get a coffee on, chill out and enjoy it for a wee while before I head off. But I just want to say that was just one of these camps I've always wanted to do. I've always wanted to actually be able to sort of dig a wee snow wall and a wee sort of pit for myself to actually sleep in. So it was epic. It's another one sort of ticked off the actual bucket list. So I've got another couple on the bucket list that I'm hoping to do through the actual winter, so fingers crossed to get a chance to get that done. But I just want to say massive thanks for joining me. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it as well, and the noise of the river wasn't too bad. I haven't actually been able to check the audio as yet. But thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.